Hello, YouTube. This is Piss Moan and Alita Battle Angel.
More like Alita Bad Angel.
And I,
Sorry.
I absolutely agree with him. If you're a fan of the story from when you were little and you haven't read it recently, which is what I did in preparation for this, I think it'll be an okay ride. It's dumb. It's as like cookie cutter of a romance plot you could do.
It's a giant cliche fest, is what it is.
Like if you took all of the what is the term? Like I want to say usurp expectations. Subvert expectations. If you took all of those from The Last Jedi, they basically took them all from this movie because it did none of that.
Took about 40 seconds to get into a review before bringing up The Last Jedi. I think that
might be a record. That might be a record. So as someone who just read the books, like I literally just finished the whole series from start to finish in the last couple months, I'm incredibly frustrated with this movie. I think it would have been an okay movie if I hadn't just read the plot, but being familiar with the plot, I feel that the deviations that this took from it were so frustrating for me. I don't know, is there anything else you want to say about that?
As a person who didn't read it, I thought it was boring and cliche as hell, and would have rather been at home sleeping. Visuals are worth nothing without a story.
Yeah. I'm coming to more and more that visuals are becoming so good that they're not worth that much anymore. I mean,
it's easy to make a movie pretty.
Amazing visuals is something you just have to throw enough money at to make happen. The Last Jedi is the perfect example of that. With a big enough budget, you can make a beautiful movie. It doesn't make a good movie. And I feel that that's what they did with this one. They made a beautiful movie. Oh, it's just so frustrating because basically every time they deviated from the plot, it was bad. We watched some of the Q&A with, was that the director? Or?
Robert Rodriguez, the director, yeah.
Director, and it was, some of the things he said is just like, I was looking to see this and hadn't decided I shouldn't read the anime, and I'm just like, yeah, it shows. Or didn't read the manga, and I was like, yeah, it shows. Because you didn't get it.
Yeah, I liked it because anime and manga is something my kids loved. So yeah, they're going to love this to finally be brought into the photorealistic.
Oh my god, he said photorealistic so many times.
Big shot. He was all about how pretty it was, how
emotional the story was, which is just derp.
And obsessing over James Cameron.
And strong female characters, and
it was a mess.
The more I think about it, the more Last Jedi this was for me. It is quickly becoming one of my most despised movies, which is so disappointing. What you get for having
expectations.
Yeah.
It was fan expectations that ruined this movie.
Can't escape Last Jedi.
Anyway.
So,
I'm going to let him do most of the talking because I didn't read it. And I don't care that much. It was just a bad movie for me.
So let's before we get into spoilers, which I think they technically don't want us to do, but it's from a manga that was published ungodly long ago.
Yeah, but
guess what? It's spoiled.
Well, no, they changed enough of it that it doesn't count.
Well, they just took all of the things that the plot did and said, "Oh, that's a little too contentious. Yeah. Let's just do what would have been the normal thing to do instead."
Okay, so imagine how.
Let's make this as tween as possible.
Yeah. So, according to what he's told me,
can we make this more chibi?
Imagine how much the ending subverts expectations in the manga. You know, that's becoming another buzz phrase I'm going to start to hate pretty soon.
Subverting expectations, yep. Yeah. It can be done well. Like, this plot originally has a really good subvert expectations plot. It's not the normal lovey-dovey romance bullcrap. It's grounded in reality, a dark reality, a reality where good things don't just happen because you want them to. Bad people exist and they're everywhere, and that's life. Instead, they just whitewashed all over that. Okay, so I'm gonna.
We're gonna give a rating.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it 2 ratings. My personal enjoyment, this is getting a 2 or a 3 out of 10. I'm so upset with it, but I think if I hadn't read the manga beforehand, it's like a 6 out of 10. It's pretty average. It's pretty. It's kind of a movie.
I'm gonna give it an absolutely deadpan 5 because oh my god,
the action was pretty good. The movie was really pretty. The characters were all well acted, I thought. I didn't have any problems with the actors.
It was all middle of the road for me.
Yeah.
I mean, seeing Christopher Waltz walk around with a big hammer that's obviously too big for him.
That's just, so dumb.
He looks so uncomfortable. It doesn't look like he's a person who runs around using that thing all the time.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, 5 out of 10 and a 6 or 2. I'm gonna stick with 3 out of 10. That's what I'm giving it, an official 3 out of 10, because of missed potential. I don't like doing that, but when it's there and you have it and you just don't use it, I can give you crap for it because you intentionally did that. So, spoilers. Give me the spoiler sign. If you don't want spoilers, don't read the manga. So this one does a lot of weird things, like the hammer. So I didn't want to get into it too much because that is spoilers. Like, that is one of those twists. Like, oh, he's not actually murderer. He's actually a good guy. He just murders.
He had a hammer, though. I mean, I didn't say what he did with the hammer.
In the manga, it is legit like a jet-powered thing. He pushes the button, and it's out of his control. It is going forward through whatever it goes through, and that's kind of the point. He's a human killing cyborgs. He needs something to seriously enhance him. He's not ching 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 like that. No, that's dumb.
It was all dumb. All dumb.
I'm trying to remember how she got the Damascus blade in the book. I can't remember. That's not how she gets it. She does not take it from Zapan.
Just kind of this might now.
So, okay, what I'm going to say for, like, what frustrated me the most was what they did with Hugo. The minor changes they made with him completely changed how the plot of this book went. Hugo is supposed to be a bad person. He takes the spines out of people, which is literally like 20% of their brains, leaving them crippled and unable to be functioning members of society ever again. A crime punishable by death. Like, it is a known, killable offense to do what he does, and he does that for cash to go to Typhus. Instead, what they do is like, oh, I just steal parts. I'm just kind of a little bit of a pickpocket. Like, I'm a little Aladdin. And it completely ruins his character as being a bad person that reforms, as opposed to being a pickpocket who just decides to not be so naughty anymore. Because the whole premise is he's bad. She finds out he's bad. She decides to try and help him and save him anyways. And the moral of the story is you can't just make bad go away with good love and intentions. The final scene differs from the book in like literally like 2 words. Instead of I love you, it's at least I got to say goodbye before he falls to his death. And she responds with, oh, Hugo. And it's so much more meaningful that way. It's her and him both realizing that, like, he can't just make that go away. He can't just fix it. Oh, yeah. I'm just verifying that I'm not, like, saying the wrong thing. Yeah, literally, at least we had the chance to say goodbye. And then he falls to his doom. Oh, Hugo. So much more impactful than I love you, because it shows that she developed as a character. Because at the end of this story, she's still just a love-struck teenager who's now mad about bad old Mr. Nova, who has had no development and is completely different from the book and way less interesting than the book. Typhus is already like this evil contraption of Nova, which is not how it goes in the book at all. Nova's been cast out too because he's a fucking psychopathic
There goes our ad revenue.
Oh, sorry. I'm very upset with this movie. I want to give it a 1 out of 10. That's why I'm swearing. I'm very upset. And I don't know why they put so many of the things they put in. Well, it was because it looked really freaking cool.
Yeah.
Rollerball was in there for spectacle and spectacle alone, and it completely destroyed the possibility of them actually doing the second arc from the book.
It wasn't even that exciting. I mean, they literally wrote themselves out of it mattering if she won or lost the game. It was an unnecessary scene. And then she just kind of leaves, and no one cares. We're taking this outside the arena now, and
I guess no one wins today, folks.
I wanted to be in that arena and
want
see.
my money back.
Yeah, what happened? Oh, they're gone now. What do we do?
Is it done?
Is it over? They coming back?
If I just climb in, do I win? Do I get to go up?
Gonna carry this all the way across.
Just rolling it slowly down the track. How am I supposed to get over this giant fucking jump? I got some people to help me. We'll make a human bridge and split
Lego bridge.
And like the director was all like, oh, he added the mother and like strong female character. Like, she had no character. She had no point in the plot. And literally, like, her strong female characters in this movie were stupid Alita, who was stupid from start to finish and did not grow and evolve as a character, and Mom, who was stupid and became boxable. Like, there were no strong female characters. At least not that weren't reduced to tropes, to memes. I mean, Alita's literally nothing but a love bug the entire... Like, that's not... That is literally just like your stereotypical love-struck female. Like, that's not... You haven't done anything new there. Don't pat yourself on the back for that. Oh.
It's reminding me of Frozen. We're going to have to review Frozen, too, because I want to complain about that online.
I'd be down for that. Because I really like that one. It subverted my expectations. I don't see a place where they deviated from the story, from the manga, that was a good decision, except for the edition. I'm pretty sure it's an edition that Ito had a daughter, and like the body he gave her was supposed to be for her.
Well, they didn't do anything with that, except give him a tragic backstory.
Well, you see,
and a stupid tragic backstory.
So that was really exciting for me, because if they had gone through with the actual plot of the story, this story ends with Alita devolving into deep, deep depression, realizing that the world is a lie, it's not great and glossy, and she runs away. And now it's Ito trying to find her, as she's just devolved herself into escapism through roller derby, just murdering people for glory, and she doesn't even care. She doesn't give a crap about them, about becoming the best. She's literally just doing it for escapism. And a parent shows up, and then you've got this parent-daughter relationship of him trying to save her, to not be helicoptered at, and there's this whole... That's the whole second plot, that they literally did the second book because they skipped it and did a single roller derby instead, where she comes to terms with the fact that, you know, she is who she is and comes out of depression. And just didn't do that. Just didn't do it at all. I'm trying to remember how that ends, because she ends up... Oh, I can't remember how she gets... She ends up pretty much bitted. Chopped up and disposed of. I can't remember why.
That happened, what, 3 times in the movie?
Oh, it was pretty bad at the end of the second saga, because she ends up almost minced meated and gets acquired by typhus and becomes secret agent operative 66 with implants from typhus, and is controlled by typhus people and doesn't have real control over herself again. And I doubt they're going to make another one of these. So the whole point of this story is what makes you a person. Like, can a cyborg love a human? Can a human love a cyborg? Like, the interactions there, what makes a human a human? And I wish they could go into the second one, because that's so much more interesting. Do you care if I spoil the further sagas?
No, whatever.
The ultimate spoiler, the real spoiler, that Dr. Nova comes and spoils to everyone and literally drives Ito insane to the point that he has to wipe his own memory and erase Alita from it, or like commit suicide, is that everyone in Typhus doesn't have a brain. That is part of getting to adulthood in Typhus, is when you get your little thing on the forehead, that's when they cut your skull open, take your brain out and replace it with a microchip that has all your brain in it. And then he goes and reveals that to Typhus. No one knows this, that they don't have brains, and they go fucking nuts. The kids riot and kill all the adults because they're not real people, and that's the whole second series. What makes a human a human? And Alita's never sure from start to finish if she has a brain, because she's been revived up there in Typhus, and that's the whole exploration. Doesn't matter, because she meets others of her, because she gets cloned. And, like, Zex is a different one of her. It's number 6, and he's killed all of the other ones. And it's a he. He's developed completely separate from her. He doesn't identify as a girl anymore. He's got a new body, and he wants to kill her, the original. And we don't even know if she really is there. There's so much exploration there that they can do. And it's really good until it goes way off the rails, Matrix ending. But up until that point, really good story. I really recommend Alita Battle Angel for the back end. Really, really good. Even though I just spoiled it all. But this took none of the good from any of it. I'm so upset with this. Should I get off my soapbox and call it quits?
Probably.
Okay.
I mean, I have nothing else to add. It was so bland. The bland fest.
I regret reading all the stories in preparation for this. I feel like it was so wasted. It made my life so much more unhappy. If I had just not known, it would have been, it was a movie.
Yeah, we probably wouldn't even bother to do this tonight.
No, not at all. I would have postponed. Okay, that's it, YouTube. Alita Bad an Angel sucks.